When we first went to Cape Town.
In chapter 13 of the book of Numbers, Moses sends out 12 spies to go and check what the land looks like.
Let's update everything.
Go for it. And action. And they go and have a look, and it's amazing. They get there, they see massive fruit. They even say that they cut down a bunch of grapes and had to carry it on a pole between two guys. So the fruit was more than what they've ever expected. However, they also encountered the people of the land.
So back in April, the beginning of the year, when we had first started talking about planning a church in Cape Town, we had a trip down there, and when we came back, we sat down with our parents and we just told them what our plans were. And they weren't as excited as we had expected them to be. Sometimes the giants in our life look so big, they were overwhelmed by them, and we completely lose sight of the promise that God has given us, the fruit that is there as well. And that's a problem when we allow them to be our focus instead of the fruit. That's when we stop walking into the promises that God has for us.
Yeah, they experienced a different side of Cape Town that what we experienced, and they were really fearful of us moving there. The people in the promised land were giants, they were fierce, they were everywhere. What they didn't understand was that it was the promised land. God had already given them that land, but they focused on the problem and not the promise.
When we focus so much on the giants instead of on the promise, it stops us from walking into what God's given us. Giants pause us, promises propel us.
So what do you see? Do you see the giants, or do you see the fruit? Do you see the promise, or do you see the problem? Their report of the area was so much different. You see, they had encountered the giants, and the giants actually scared them. But I think we encountered the fruit as well, and I think that is what has excited us about going into this pursuit of planting a church in Cape Town. When you focus on the giants, you focus on the problem. When you focus on the problem, you see your inadequacies, you see your faults. You actually see yourself failing before you start. However, when you focus on the fruit, you're not focusing on you, you're focusing on the one who made the promise. You're focusing on what He sees in you, you're focusing on Jesus, you're focusing on what is to come and not just what you see in front of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The fruit and the possibilities are just way bigger than the giants to us.
What is it that you see? Do you see the giants, or do you see the fruit? Yeah, we saw the fruit beyond the giants. I hope you see the fruit. Let's go change the world.